When I first moved to Berlin, I loved the city. I loved my Berlin boyfriend, and I was determined to do everything to blend into the culture here, and not to spend time with expats, but to really become a Berliner, to become part of the scene. And I was having a great time, except for one issue. And that issue was how Berliners tipped people in the service industry, which was not very well. And when I went out to a restaurant with my boyfriend and we had dinner and the bill came and it was about, let's say, 38.50, my boyfriend would leave 40 euros. And I was horrified. I couldn't believe that anyone would think of leaving such a small, insignificant tip. And he did not understand my emotion at all, and it was a source of friction for us. I was carrying on my merry way, and one day I finally decided it was time to break my no expat rule. And I met 3 other Montreal women, and we got together one night for wine and cheese, and after a glass or 2, we started talking about all the difficulties we had with this strange culture. And one of the things that we agreed on passionately was that Berliners do not tip well in the service industry. And it was incomprehensible to us because we all knew that to help them make ends meet, a good person leaves a tip of 15 to 25%. And that moment was a game changer for me because I had thought up until then that my attitude towards tipping was the result of long reflection and soul searching in my solitude, and it was a personally developed value. And it was not. It was the result of having been born into a society where leaving a generous tip was de rigueur. It was the thing that you did. And that moment was a revelation, and it started my path towards intercultural communication coaching. How does culture, and not our national culture, but often our very local culture, form our values, our behaviors, and our communication styles? Fast forward many years later, and I have turned this into the focus of my coaching. And what I want to do in the coaching sessions and workshops that I provide are to give my clients the ability to maneuver different cultures and different situations where more than one culture can be represented. And I think the starting point for that is to become aware of the way culture works in you. How are you influenced by the norms and customs of the culture that you come from? And the more you become aware of that, the more you realize that other people who seem incomprehensible to you are not personally bizarre or cold or too warm or inappropriate. They are simply acting in a way that is normal for the culture that they come from. And so one of the most important skills that you need in intercultural communication is to have patience, to have the patience to say, I don't understand this, but I'm willing to find out. And that comes to our other important attitude or skill, which is openness. You want to be open to other people and to be curious, to want to explore what is happening, what other people are bringing to the communication, and what cultural factors are at work in their behavior and communication. And after that, after you've understood what is going on, how culture is working, another important skill is adaptability. How can you say, all right, I understand how my culture is working through me, And I understand that culture is working through them, even if I don't quite understand the particulars. But observing the differences, how can I adapt my behavior to the situation that is occurring? And even if your interlocutor, the person that you're dealing with, is not aware of these things and is not entering into that spirit of adaptability and openness, your own ability to adapt and to observe will be your secret weapon that in the end will be in service to both of you.